All right, this is Ontario Police over here. While the entity is sounding plain activity, this is criminal summoning. And Safeguard is engaging in the pattern of conduct while gang stalking with them. You see their lights coming on for no reason? They're gang stalking. And this is relevant to the threat, right, that's posed while you are abiding by the law, which they don't have authority under. But even so, you're talking about if the targeted individual was a criminal, okay, and you're talking about, well, we're not gang stalking, we're actually coming after a criminal. No, they're actually targeting somebody that's abiding by the law, and I'm prosecuting them. The entity is stalking by plane over here, and the Ontario Police Department are engaging what is arriving where nothing is open. They're gang stalking. Over here looking for somebody that didn't break the law. This is the P.O.C. This is arriving at the library in silence while they're engaging in the pattern of conduct, and these are the psychopaths stalking by helicopter for 30 minutes last night, knowing exactly who I am. Engaging in the P.O.C. This is the stalker, the vagina monitor, that's engaging in that pattern of conduct while they're engaging in this. And this is while they're monitoring online. This is the P.O.C. Okay? This is federal prison as well. This is the entity that's engaged in that while you're breaking no law. Safeguard's going to prison. I documented him. He's talking about the owner of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And sitting, I want to be clear, being outside of DD's, being in your vehicle like they are, like the serial stalker inside of the Tesla, by the way, engaged in serial stalker, the Asian female, sitting in your vehicle while you're waiting for your pizza, which they don't know if they're not sitting up watching you, sitting outside waiting for your pizza, whatever it is that you're doing, the entity's targeting, and they are arriving pursuant to the pattern of conduct while you are telling, oh, they took a picture of my license plate, so what? Why are you showing up in Vaughn's about something that's not a violation of the law? You're gang stalking. And this is what the Ontario Police Department, that's Marcelo Blanco gang stalking. This is Mike LORENZ gang stalking. This is the P.O.C. This is what Ching was doing at the Vaughn's grocery store, and now they're monitoring. They're not talking about anything, they're monitoring me. And this is federal prison. This is the same agency, and now they're pacing with the people of the state. This is where the entity stalked by plane and helicopter. Now they're in their police vehicles engaged in that. You have two vehicles arriving where the information that they're receiving has nothing to do with a violation of the law in the first place. And this is while the entity is engaged in that, and this is supposed to intimidate you. This is supposed to cause you fear, and this is being documented because they're going to prison as well. And this is the entity that's engaged in conspicuous stalking. P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, 9:24 a.m. and this is Safeguard. He's going to prison. This is the pattern of conduct by Safeguard, engaging criminal summoning while they're monitoring. They are monitoring with the entity. So license plates. Here we go. Because they're going to prison. All of them that I document them gang stalking me within this specific environment, license 1680788. Remember what they're doing at the Vos parking lot under the fake sun? Vehicle 1114. License plate 1697641, vehicle 1103. This is P.O.C. Is this Quisada? No, that's somebody else. Referring by name. Who are you?
I'm Officer Vallejo.
What's your badge number?
20847.
Thank you. And what's your name?
Officer Paz.
He was gang stalking at the 537 North Euclid Avenue bus stop, and that was criminal summoning. And what's your name? Golizade? Golizade? G-H-O-L-I-Z-A-D-E-H. This is P.O.C. I'm sorry. So this is targeting. You want me off the parking lot?
Yes.
Why?
They're asking you.
Safeguard doesn't own the parking lot. So who is it that wants me at the parking lot and for what? Why? These are the demons. These are demons, by the way. These are demon-possessed people. They're all going to prison.
Legal representative of the parking lot of this private property wants.
You're mumbling. One more time. Say it with more confidence.
You know exactly what.
No, I didn't. You're speaking nonsense. So tell me why you're here. It's a criminal purpose, but tell me why you're here. Trespassing on private property. Okay. In the parking lot?
Yeah, you need to move along.
And this is while what I'm doing, what he told you that I'm doing is in violation of the law, right? So you guys arrive when nobody's breaking the law just so you can move them off the property. Is this why you're documenting them gang stalking? They're all three going to prison.
Erica.
Who are, and how do you know my name? These are the stalkers. Because what? Oh, I'm such a problem, right? Is that why you're flying in circles over me by helicopter? Because I'm a problem? Is that an effect? Technically, a technicality is how you're able to come and stalk me in my face? A technicality?
Go on the sidewalk.
A technicality? I was on the sidewalk. I'm documenting you stalking.
Right now.
Oh, I came to because I'm going to get this criminal activity. That's why. This is not a 602 trespass, by the way. This is harassment while I'm not violating the law. And that's not what a 602. What? Are you testing me now?
Yeah, well,
because while you're here, no, I'm not. I'm putting you in your place because you're not a police officer. You're a stalker.
No,
and Mike LORENZ is going to prison. I just want to let you know Mike LORENZ is going to prison. And moreover, this is the entity that's engaged in this pattern over and over again. He did the same thing at the bus stop with 537 North Euclid Avenue where the fake sun is rising and said, these are demons.
Hey,
all right?
Erica,
this is P.O.C.
On the
That's a threat to engage in kidnapping.
Okay? So go on the sidewalk.
I'm on the property. I go to Stater Brothers. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, again, he's the legal representative.
He's not a legal representative. This is a threat while you're engaged in what is threatening Ontario Village Shopping Center. I'm going to DD's when I want. I'm going to Little Caesars when I want. I'm going to Stater Brothers when I want. It is impossible for you to say I can't go to any of these shops. You are not intimidating me, Satan. You have a gun on your hip and you're stalking, you're going to prison. You don't even have accurate information to try to threaten me under the law while you are stalking under all circumstances. This is outrageous. I don't need to Google it. You need to Google what your job is. You're going to prison as terrorists. You're talking about trying to ban me from all of the businesses right now. That is not tenable under circumstances when I'm outside, and I'm outside now, whether I'm on the sidewalk or whether I'm walking to a venue, which Safeguard doesn't know where I'm going, and I don't have to report to them. You guys and your pathetic means of stalking. That's why you're saying my name. You're a vagina monitor. You're a stalker. You're a sex offender. And you're out here monitoring me. That's what you're doing. You're out here criminally monitoring. You're a sex offender. You're already going to prison. I suggest you stop talking. I'm not scared of you while you're out here gang stalking with guns on their hips. You're losing those guns. You're going to prison for showing up with them. You're all going to prison. You're out here going to prison, and I'm going to whatever store I want to go to. You don't have any authority of the law. You're pathetic. You're out here scared of me, and you're going to prison. This is P.O.C. These are the gang members. They're going to prison. Vehicle, again, 1680788. Telling me I can't come up. I'm going to go to whatever store I want to. I'm going to go eat at Subway when I want to. I'm going to go to Stater Brothers when I want to. That's the P.O.C. and they know that. They try to intimidate you. That's the pattern of conduct. Mike LORENZ is going to prison. Flying in circles over me by helicopter. They're going to prison. All three of these vagina monitors are going to prison. And this is what they're wasting money on. This is what the U.S. military is engaging with, is targeting me with. While they're at the same location where they're stalking by commercial planes. Stalking by commercial planes. These are the demons stalking in the path. They're psychopathic. Keeping my vagina under surveillance in the Stater Brothers bathroom, where engineer light is surrounding. This is because I'm documenting and I'm putting on the internet, and I'll put this on the internet, and you've got 3 more that are going to prison. P.O.C. And so is Safeguard. He's not a security guard. That's the pattern of conduct. That's what's so pathetic. You need to understand that this is what is engaging what is murder. They murder and they kidnap. No stance, no position under the law. And they also don't principally under the law because it's surveillance, not law enforcement. That's why you're jumping at the opportunity to be in my presence. He's going to prison. That's why you're jumping at the opportunity to be in my presence while you are engaging in the pattern of conduct. Oh, well, they called us here. I don't care if they called you here and told you that I'm taking a picture of their license plate. So what is what a police officer is supposed to say? What else do you have? What else did they do? This is what Ching of Upland Police and these demons of Ontario Police are doing, and they're stalking. You know why they're so concerned here? Because this is surveillance. This is surveillance. Because you're talking about a non-issue here. Non-issue. And then they're embarrassed because I'm putting them up. You're not going to stop with what is underway. They literally engage in gang stalking with Amazon. Not a coincidence. They're angry. This is hostility. This is the P.O.C. The fake sun from morning until evening. Surveillance. Surveillance, stalking by commercial planes. No terminals are having any flights here. Doing the cartwheels over the parking lot. Surveillance. Harassing me while I'm uploading the evidence on the internet. Calling me by name. Another vagina monitor that's also aware of my vagina, keeping it under surveillance. Calling me by name. Surveillance. That security guard doesn't know my name. He's not referring to me. We're not friends like that. Calling me by name. The vagina monitor from the bus stop. We're not friends. We're not buddies. They're stalkers. They're going to prison. Those are the entity, and this is what Stater Brothers is engaging in. David Quinones, all of them, they're all going to prison, poisoning my food with the Ontario Police Department, the U.S. military, using their helicopters stalking me, using military jets following me around, doing so with the Ontario International Airport, gang stalking. These are demons that are engaging in what is obsessing over me, stalking, and while they obsess over me, they come around harassing me. This is what's going on the internet. This is what's going and sitting in church, in the Catholic Church and in these fake Christian churches. They're demons. They just put on uniforms and call themselves the Ontario Police, cloaking themselves, and they don't have authority. They also don't know what the actual law means or what it provides for, while they are using any excuse for somebody that's not violating the law to be in my face. That's a threat. Monitoring. P.O.C. with the people of the state. That's 67516 Bob 3, which is federal prison. But everybody in Stater Brothers is going to prison. This is the pattern of conduct. Alrighty, that's the P.O.C. And to them, call me by name. That's the admission of stalking. There's no basis under the normal circumstances for them to engage that. At the same conduct, you'll see the two vehicles, the gang members with the two vehicles at the Volks Church, doing so in the dark when they're stalking at nightfall. I'm showing this. This is the demons that are together engaging in what is that psychotic behavior, stalking with light, while the entity is in flying in circles over the top of my head by helicopter while they're following me around. This is why you know my name in reality. And the Ontario police are being disbanded. This is a gang. They're engaged in gang violence, and you summon the gangs with regard to a threat to kidnapping. This demon over here is going to federal prison. He's going to federal prison for that. And they have a pattern of that while they're engaging the criminal system on behalf of them. Okay, this is the breakdown of that. That's how that's supposed to operate. And I'm showing you, yeah, first of all, no, you're gang members and you're stalkers. So you're referring to law that doesn't even apply while you don't even have those facts. And understand, even where, say, there's some technicality and the target individual is technically under the law that they don't have authority under, is trespassing, they still don't have it. And you're going to prosecute for kidnapping because it's surveillance. That's why they're sitting here engaging in that P.O.C. with the Ontario International Airport. Vehicle 1114 and vehicle 1103 on HOLT Boulevard, where the fake sun rises and sets, remains over me. Going from Pomona under the fake sun, going to Fontana under the fake sun, they're all going to prison. They're going to prison. They're scared about what I'm publishing on the internet, and what I'm publishing on the internet is putting them, those are 3 more gang members like Jay Montez, like Hernandez at Superior Grocer, like the demons that engaged in 2021, 2022 criminal summoning here, they're going to prison. The gang stalker inside of the smoke shop, this foreigner that's in America to keep us under surveillance and the disdain of that demon on his face, while they share what is information, knowledge about what I'm publishing on the internet, on my podcast, he's going to prison. He's going to federal prison. Excuse me, you're talking about what is deportation. They're monitoring together. They're harassing as one. This is the P.O.C. This is where the entity's engaging in that. So what is the Ontario Police Department doing, flying in circles over me? Because that's what they were doing last night. And then they're arriving like psychopaths the next morning because someone called them about what's not a crime. When I'm going into whatever store I want to go to, including walking through to and from the parking lot, you are literally targeting me by saying, oh, you can't take a break and sit there. And you're doing so while I'm documenting an immigrant that's hostile, that doesn't belong in this country, is only in this country because the U.S. military is keeping us under surveillance through immigrants that hate America, they hate Americans, and they hate you personally while they're demons that are gang stalking you by sanctioned by the U.S. government. While I'm publishing that factual information, that's when all of a sudden, okay, you can't sit here. The dentist office is closed. The tattoo shop is closed. The smoke shop is open. The clothing store is open. The entity, there's a seating area over there. And this is an entity telling me while I'm engaged in what is absolutely lawful, you're going to come back and kidnap me? Under what section? While they refer to the law, this is the entity that's engaged in surveillance, not kidnapping. They commit kidnappings. LAPD committed murder in the middle of the street, killing that young man on the skateboard. While those demons engage in criminal summoning, what are they doing under the fake sun at 6:10 p.m. yesterday at American Inn, 8th Street in Euclid, where the fake sun is shining over me? That fake sun at 6:10 p.m. is at the same time in Upland, California, where Colin Sheehy is gang stalking the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. Look at the 2 videos from May 1st and May 2nd. Look at the time. Look at the fake sun over me in 2 adjacent cities. It's not happening at the same time, and also in those 2 adjacent cities, the fake sun's over me in the morning, which is how I'm documenting and letting you know that Colin Sheehy is a vagina monitoring stalker, engaging criminal surveillance with the Upland Police Department as well. The entity has the fake sun over me in 2 cities at the same time. And in Ontario, it's over me at that same location, American Inn, at 7 in the morning, outside of my hotel window, while I'm being kept under surveillance. And then you're arriving at this venue. They're all going to federal prison. There's a large percentage of that department that's going to prison because I documented them stalking. And terrorists that are engaging in that role, they're going to prison. And in this video, the demons of the airport were stalking by plane. Just like they are at Safeco, engaging in criminal summoning by another terrorist at Safeco. In Engineer Light, talking about my social media. All right, more information, evidence that they're stalkers. Who told you about my social media? How do you even know it's me? My picture's not up there. How do you know that Erica Spencer is me? How do you know that my name is Erica? They're not intelligent at all. They are not. You're looking at that ongoing open engagement in that P.O.C. And the serial monitoring, the entity engaging in surveillance arrives while I refer to this demon. And if she's not a natural born citizen, they're being deported. She's a serial stalker, sitting in that parking lot and doing so and arriving while I'm documenting. This is the P.O.C. So I just want to be clear. The Ontario Police Department are being disbanded, and the entity is keeping us under surveillance outside of the U.S. while you're looking at how the entire criminal system operates. And they literally just tried to say that I can't go to any of the stores inside of the shopping plaza. because I would have to levitate over everything in order to get to Stater Brothers, in order to get to the laundromat, where they're keeping me under surveillance. They literally just engaged in harassment because they don't have any basis to do that. And principally speaking, they don't have any basis to do what it is that, what they're doing, say, even if there were, the entity is engaged in what is criminal surveillance. So under the Constitution, you don't have authority under the penal code. They're being prosecuted under the law based on what they're doing. You don't have authority under the penal code, the municipal code. You don't have any you don't have any jurisdiction. You're engaged in surveillance. You're talking about fruit of the poisonous tree. How did you get this evidence? Because you're stalking that person. That's where the P.O.C. is coming in. They're all going to prison for this, and they're unintelligent. So you want to flip the question around. This is the same thing that what's this vagina monitor's name? Sergeant Hall did. What does 602 mean? No. This is not a pop quiz for me, Satan. You're the one that's engaged in what is gang stalking me. You're a stalker by virtue of being in my face. They're stalking. You are a stalker who is hiding. You think that well, the plan is, the purpose, the system operates as, while you're stalking, you don't appear as a stalker because you have on a police uniform. Okay, that's like stating you're a porn star and you show up to engage in sexual activity on camera. You think that you don't look like a porn star because of the type of outfit that you're wearing. You're not. Your outfit doesn't even matter. You take that outfit off to have sex, don't you? Or some people keep it on to have sex. But I'm just giving you a graphic example regarding what is absolutely part of what is an illusion, an ongoing illusion. The entities engaging in this P.O.C. and they're doing so with regard to the people of the state. And this is the entity that's doing, these are suicidal people. They showed up with guns on their waist. You're threatening me while you're gang stalking. That's the U.S. military, those fools. The ones doing cartwheels and flying in circles for 30 minutes. They're psychotic. You're going to prison. That's a threat, and I got it on video again. They're going to prison. You're going to federal prison for that. And every single last one that I've documented over the years, they're all going to prison. And there is a garden variety of them that are stalking me while they're maintaining the system with the U.S. military. Chino police, Azusa police, you have the Los Angeles police, you name it, I documented them. You're going to prison. They're doing it under the fake sun, okay? While you are stalking, you do not have authority. Moreover, while you're engaging in what is gang stalking me and you're arriving pursuant to harassing me, you're talking about what is sitting outside. And understand, he didn't say, well, you're not allowed to sit outside. He said the owner doesn't want you there. The owner doesn't want me there. Where? Because I'm able to go to any store that I want. You're talking about the entity that's engaging what is harassing me, and then they sat here, listened to me analyze them, and drive, and they're monitoring. Doing so with the people that say that license plate that I read while the plane was flying over. They were gang stalking right in your face, including while I'm conversing with them, they were gang stalking. And this is how pathetic. A safeguard is going to prison. All right, that's P.O.C. This is just like Securitas. He's going to prison. Leo, he's going to federal prison. This is the entity that's engaging in that. You have the so-called parking enforcement while you're gang stalking with the airport that's flying even more west to be over this venue. Don't forget about everything you listened to today. Plane after plane after plane. And then you're engaging in what is summoning the demons that are gang stalking. They're gang stalk. That's the P.O.C. You're going to prison. And this is the entity that's engaging, very delusional, very suicidal, very self-destructive. But this is informative for you to understand how the system operates, because Mike Lorenz, they're not the only ones going to prison. Mike Lorenz is going to prison. Mike Lorenz is going to prison. And who's sitting in court perjuring my character? They're all going to prison. While the entity's gang stalking me, everybody that showed up. You talk Carrie Heberlin, you're going to prison while you're listening to this nonsense. Carrie Heberlin's going to, Ruth Hooper, you non-singing, non-alto, you're going to prison while you're listening to them gang stalking me. You're going to federal prison. You perjured my character. You arrived in court. You're a sex offender and you're gang stalking me now. And this is why I'm subject to it while you're perjuring my character in court that you have no business in. You're going to be in court when I prosecute you. But you're listening to the evidence putting you in prison as to why the entity is targeting, how that system works from every angle. They're going to prison. Tracy Banks is calling herself recruiting all these people to perjure my character, where the government that's engaged in this gang stalking, where you don't know your rights and you are intimidated, and reasonably so, while those that are bearing weapons and guns and authority that they don't have are harassing you, while you are lacking evidence and trying to enforce your rights, and they're engaged in what is then kidnapping you. And then creating a paper trail. This is what the Ontario police, and you are at the same time, Look, same time, while you're looking at this, juxtapose that with flying in circles over me every night. Follow me while I am walking from Upland to Ontario. And you are maintaining that at the same time. They're all going to prison. Everybody that's setting court perjury on my character, you're all going to prison. And that's exactly where you belong. And I want to be clear, look to each other because you put yourselves there. You're all demons. You belong where you're going. You belong there. I kid you not, you belong there. Because that's exactly where you're going. You're going to federal prison, sweeties. You're all going to be locked up. And this is a horrible time to be locked up. Horrible time. Horrible time. And you're going to be locked up by the demons that you're monitoring with. Good luck. Because you know how defiled their character is. You're going to be locked up amongst them. It is currently 9:42 a.m. This is going on the internet, obviously, but this is going on the, this is video documentation that I'm capturing, not merely podcast. This is the visual that you need because those 3 gang members are going to prison, and so is Safeguard. He's another gang member. He's, I'm talking about the gang proper. Ontario police are gang members, and they are leading gang violence in Ontario. That's by the airport, that's by the fire department, that's by the people of the state. That's by the corporate entities that are the people of the state. And they are going to be, they're being disbanded for it. They are engaging in what is kidnapping, criminal summoning. And then they're all at the same time arriving. And then these idiots are saying my name too. Thank you. I mean, we already know that they're monitoring. Please say my name. But please reference my social media. Go ahead. Go right on ahead. The entities engaging in that. Why don't you also talk about what tampons I'm buying? Because they're all up in my vagina as well, monitoring it. They're sex offenders. All right. That's the P.O.C. It is currently 9:43 a.m.